Please welcome to the stage Kathy Lee and Raj Sripathi.
Cool. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Building Connected Experiences with Roblox's APIs. In this session, we're going to go over where social is going and the APIs that you can use to help your players connect with each other more, stick around longer, and have more fun. Let's get started with some introductions. I'm Kathy, Product Director for Communities. It's awesome to be here with you today, and I'm here with my colleague, Raj.
Hey everyone, I'm Raj, Engineering Director for Social. So excited to dive into this with you here today.
All right, quick roadmap for the session. We're going to talk about why social matters. Then we're going to talk about the products and APIs that you can use today. And then we're going to save time for the end for any questions that you may have. OK, let's dive in. At Roblox, our vision for social is simple but ambitious. We are reimagining the way that people come together. That means we believe that Roblox is not just a platform for content. It's a platform for people to connect with each other, to build relationships, communities, and lasting memories together. And your experiences are at the heart of that. But let's see what that really means. At the center of everything is co-experience, people playing together. And around that, there are 4 things that consistently fuel it. Let's start off with connecting with people that you trust. Why does that matter? Because playing experiences feels better if you just know who you're playing with, right? That then goes naturally into the next step, chatting with your connections, coordinating, celebrating, and just really making your experiences a lot more social and fun. And when people are playing in your experience together, they naturally want to do the third step, which is capturing and sharing. They want to capture and share their best gameplay with each other. And when they share it, it's really an invitation for people to then jump in to your experiences. Last but not least, joining and creating community, where players can connect over shared interests, even when they're not playing experiences. When someone joins because their connection invites them, or they see a shared moment, or they join through a community, they're not just more likely to stay longer, they're more likely to come back. And when they come back, they're coming back to your experiences. And the scale here is massive. Right now, Roblox is driving about 79 million hours of co-experiences every single day. That's not just logins. That's people laughing together, competing, collaborating, and just hang out in the worlds that you've built. That's why we see social not just as a feature, but as the biggest driver of growth for Roblox and for your creations. All right, that's the big picture. Let's get concrete. To start, Raj is going to jump into in-experience text chat, the foundation for how players connect inside your worlds.
Okay, thanks, Kathy. So it's truly inspiring to look out and see you guys, like the incredible creators who bring our platforms to life. So let's start with the feature your players use the most to connect, in-experience text chat. So today, millions of creators have enabled and customized chat, powering more than 4 billion conversations sent by more than 80 million users every single day. So that's not just chat. That's your communities coming alive. That's what you have built, so thank you. Now, let me introduce the next chapter of chat, TextChatService, or TCS. TCS is our modern chat foundation designed to replace the legacy system empowering creators like you. With TCS, you can already customize chat's appearance, spin up channels for team chat, set up bubble chat, and more. And all of this while staying compliant with our safety policies by default. And we are just getting started. So coming soon in TCS, you can expect reactions, replies, global channels, and a wave of new customization features. So our commitment to you is clear. Full feature parity with legacy chat in the coming months, and an exciting roadmap beyond it. Let's talk performance. Last year, you told us it needed to be better. We listen and we acted. We understand that in your experiences, every millisecond of frame time matters. So that's why I'm thrilled to share that we have driven a significant reduction in chat's frame time across all platforms, including Android, now under 1 millisecond. So how did we do this? By eliminating unnecessary UI re-renders, optimizing state management, and ensuring that when chat is turned off, you pay 0 frame time cost. So here is the takeaway for experience chat. Scale, safety, control, and speed without compromise. Next up, let's talk voice. If text is the backbone of coordination, voice is the heartbeat of immersion. So voice is already becoming a core layer of communication in experiences today. So more than 12 million daily active voice users are engaging, listening, talking, and even singing in your experiences. And the best part is, these players stick. More than 58% of them are still on the platform about 6 weeks later. It's no surprise then that more than 61% of top 10,000 creators have already enabled voice in their experiences. We are making it easier and more flexible to bring voice into your worlds. The new voice chat APIs and the audio APIs stand up the right model for your experience, whether it's team voice for tight coordination, flat voice for whole lobby moments, and broadcast for stage-style communication, and much more. So you can see here, just in a few lines of code, you can set up team voice for your game. And yeah, we made it like that simple, like you don't even have to think too much about it. So as a bonus, you can now control distance attenuation with a custom curve that lets you shape exactly how voice falls off in your spaces. Bottom line is, voice drives engagement and retention. So with these APIs, you can wire it up fast and tune it to sound exactly like your world should. Okay, with text and voice, we have everything we need for a party. Last year, we introduced parties as a better way to experience Roblox along with your friends. A party is a connected group that can stay together before, during, and after gameplay. You can see both sides of that here. So on the left, you have a party using party chat and party voice to figure out what to play. It's a common problem. And on the right, the same experience, all together, playing together. So that's what makes parties so powerful, right? They bridge the gap between conversation and co-play, letting connections seamlessly move from talking to playing together to navigating anywhere on Roblox. So why is this important? It's important because engagement skyrockets when players experience Roblox together with their friends. So players who co-play stay longer, return more often, and drive higher DAU. Not just that, they often end up spending almost twice as much in your experiences. That's why party is at the center of co-play at Roblox, right? It's a system designed to keep players together and also provides powerful constructs for discovering and joining new experiences together. So here you can see, when a user finds an experience while being in a party, they can join with party, which not only notifies all the party members to join together, but it makes sure everyone lands on the same server, in the same place, at the same time. So no more missed invites, no more connections scattered across different instances. So this year, we are bringing you the tools that you need to bring parties directly into your experiences. So in June, we shipped the first version of the Party API. This API lets you retrieve information about everyone in a party, like the user ID, place ID, and server details, regardless of which server that they're on. So what can you do with this? A lot. So for example, the API enables you to build like real-time indicators showing where each party member is across your experience. So if one connection is in the lobby and the other is in a mini game, you can let them click and follow each other like instantly. And of course, like you can also build simple but powerful mechanics like keeping a party on the same team, surfacing party presence in your UI, or even better, like giving them shared rewards to incentivize them to keep coming back as a group. We know building party systems can be hard, right? So that's why later this year, we are bringing Roblox Studio support for Party API directly. With Studio support, you will be able to assign players into parties, test visuals and scripts, and even mock tests like party members. So here is a glimpse of what Studio support will look like. And for those of you here today, like you can try a preview version at our booth and start experimenting yourself. Finally, let's see how Rivals is using Party today. Right. So Rivals already has put a lot of work into improving co-play in their experience. Now, after implementing the Party API, when you join with the party, you're automatically assembled, match-made, and kept together as you go between subplaces. So the goal is quite simple. Whether you're building a competitive shooter, or a role-play hangout, or a co-play adventure, you now have the tools you need to make sure groups of connections can stay together, play together, and have fun. So that's Party, but what about the after party? So that's where communities come in. Kathy, take it away.
Cool. Thanks, Raj. Let's dive into communities, the home base for your fans on Roblox. Our goal for communities is simple: to be the best all-ages platform for building and growing your communities right here on Roblox. We're focused on helping you reach, engage, and really just delight your fans, no matter their age. Today, Communities has about 5 million players engaging with it every day. Popular features like announcements and events are already driving traffic back to your communities as well as to your experiences. Okay, so remember forums? We announced them at last year's RDC. Well, forums has been in early access, and I'm excited to say that it's available now for everybody to use. So when you get a chance, definitely try it out and let us know what you think. Your feedback during early access really helped us understand what moderation tools to enhance, like enhanced spam detection as well as community block words list. We built stronger moderation tools for you, so you spend less time worrying about moderation for your communities and spend more time on the things that you do best, which is focusing on creating. So forums gives your players a safe and engaging space to connect. But we wanted to go further, to connect what happens in your experience directly to your community. And that's where our APIs come in. Some of you may have already heard of our Open Cloud API. This lets you automatically sync in-experience milestones and triggers directly with community roles and ranks. So for example, let's say a player reaches level 10 in your game. They can instantly earn a special community role that then gives them access to post in your forum or other activities in your community. So the code snippet shows you how in-game progression and community work hand in hand, and how progression actually feels more meaningful even outside of the experience itself. But that's just the start. We know that you all want even more flexibility, so we got some brand new APIs cooking for you. That's going to make it a lot easier for your players to join your community and keep the conversation going right from inside your experience. So I'm excited to tell you that we got 2 new community APIs coming soon. Join Community API and Forum API. Join Community API is just what it says in this title. Players are going to be able to join your community from right inside your experience, no detours. For an API, you're going to be able to grab posts into your experience, as well as let players post in your forum without leaving your experience. Both of these APIs are going to come at the end of the year, so keep your eye out on Dev Forum for dates and details. Okay, now that we cover communities, let's shift gears to something new that you first heard at the keynote, Moments. Moments is launching in beta, because we want to actually grab feedback from you in order to make sure that we're building the right thing for you. But we get the fun part. We get to talk about the vision for Moments, how it comes to life on Roblox, and what it means for you as creators. With Moments, we're transforming the amazing things that players do in your game into fuel. Fuel for discovery, deeper engagement, and ultimately, greater success for you. Every day on Roblox, players are landing clutch wins, or pulling off epic stunts, or epic fails, and just laughing and hanging out in the worlds that you've built. We're making those highlights super easy to capture and share, and when players see this content, it's not just fun to watch. It's an open invitation to jump right into your experience. So to bring this to life, we have launched a dedicated Moments experience where players can publish and explore content right on the platform. And soon, you're going to get APIs to get capture and share directly into your experience, and also build it in the way that best fits your community. Okay, so let's break Moments down into 3 parts: capture, publish, and consume. First off, capture. On supported devices, players can record short clips up to 30 seconds long right from your experience, and it's on by default. But don't worry, as creators, you still have control. At any point in time, you can turn this on and off, or you can trigger one right at the exact moment, like let's say a player beats a round or they got the rare item. Next is publish. Once a clip is saved, players share it right to the new Moments experience. There, they'll have simple editing tools like trimming, or you can build your own filters or effects that really make your players' clips stand out. So publishing turns highlights into Roblox assets ready for discovery. And finally, consume. This is where the magic spreads. Players can explore a browsing surface of shared moments that's ranked by our recommendation service. But here's the cool part. You'll have access to this service to be able to build your own filters or change up the algorithms to make sure that it really fits into fits into your experience. Players can react and engage, and more importantly, jump right back into where the moments happened. So that's Moments in action: capture, publish, and consume. 3 simple steps that turn everyday highlights into amazing moments for you. So now that's a big picture. I'm going to show you, or Raj is actually going to show you through code how this works. I'm going to hand it over to Raj to walk you through the new APIs.
OK, thanks, Kathy. Anyone here excited for the Moments API? Woo! OK, in yesterday's keynote, Raj Bhatia gave you a glimpse of what's possible with the Moments API. Let's dive into more detail here. At the heart of these APIs is the capture service. So the capture service lets developers programmatically start and stop video captures on behalf of the players. So as a creator, you can trigger a capture for key in-game moments that are about to happen, like completing a challenge, finishing a race, and so on. So you can see a snippet of the API in action here. There is clearly an interesting moment you want to capture, and that's about to happen when the user reaches that particular point in the obby game. So what you can do is you can trigger a function at that exact moment to start recording a video using start video capture and stop automatically if the user makes it to the other end. OK, so we have captured an interesting moment. The user has hit a checkpoint. How do they share this with the rest of the world? So the capture service also provides API that let you manage access and usage of player captures. By the way, we ensure that players are always in control of their content. That's why you see here the developer using prompt capture gallery permission to get the user's permission to access their captures. So once permission is granted, you can then use read captures from gallery async to access the player's captures, and then you can build really cool things like custom gallery views or editing functionality right inside your experience. And finally, to share their creations with the world, upload capture async takes a video from the user's gallery and uploads it to the platform as an asset. As Dave mentioned in his keynote, we are introducing a recommendations API to power content ranking right inside your experiences. This is essentially a ranking algorithm that is available as a cloud service that you can use and customize. So let's see what's happening here in this example. The developer is using the recommendations API to fetch a list of captures. So these could be like racing highlights for that particular experience and display it in their experience on the large screen. So how do I get an uploaded capture to show up in recommendations? To do that, you have to first register the asset as a new recommendation item. And you can do that. You can provide additional attributes there, like the duration, the visibility, description, and even custom tags. So once a piece of content is registered, it's available for ranking and surfacing. So finally, this code demonstrates how a developer generates a recommendation set by providing a config name, location ID, and page size in the request to generate items list async. The ranking service then uses these parameters to generate a list of captures for the user. So you can see an interesting variant of the recommendation set in this. So this developer is showing the captures in their own unique way. So that's the power of these APIs that allow you to customize not just captures editing, but also how it shows up in your experiences. So these components of capturing, publishing, and recommendations are powerful new primitives to mobilize your user base to show the best of your experiences to the rest of the community. So we are really excited to see how you use these APIs to turn awesome player moments into growth. So with that, back to Kathy to close us out.
All right. Thanks, Raj. Thanks, everybody, for being an awesome audience. We covered a lot today. Experience chat, voice, party, communities, moments, all built to help you build the next generation of social experiences on Roblox. We can't wait to see what you build with these tools. If you want to dig deeper or learn more, swing by our booths. We got demos, we got answers, and we really want to hear your ideas and feedback. All right, but before we wrap up, it's your turn. We got time for a few questions. But for every product and feature that we build, there's a whole team behind us. So I do want to invite two members of our team, Derek, who leads product for Moments, as well as Eduardo, who leads product for Party. And I want them to come up stage to join us to help answer questions. And so there's two mics set up over there. If you guys have questions, come up and ask your questions.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Hi. Thanks for the session. My question is for Derek, and I'm curious, what are you most excited about for Moments?
Oh man, what a loaded question. Honestly, there's a lot of creativity that happens on the platform, both on the creator side and developer side. And today, I would say just millions of awesome moments already happen on the platform, but they're just more fleeting. So just actually capturing more of those and memorializing them and using them to inspire the rest of the community to discover, re-engage with fun experiences. That, in general, is what I'm really excited about.
Thanks. All right, we got a question.
Hello,
Here.
I also have a question about Moments. So right now, Moments are mostly linked to what the user is seeing because it's like recording their screen. So my question is, will there be a point where we will be able to like decouple that from the user's camera and be like, oh, I want to record it from this angle. Maybe have a video from, if they're competing an obby, maybe like, from the top or something else.
That's a great idea. It's somewhere on the roadmap. We don't have an exact timeline to share with you today, but effectively today, what you have is the player The players, what the player sees is what the recording will be like, right? But you're talking about essentially setting up from a developer perspective, maybe a ghost player perspective, or a camera angle that is not the player's perspective. I think that will be something that's super exciting. That's not available today, but we're interested in exploring it.
And one other question: when you mentioned about editing moments in experience, what are the plans for like what tools are we gonna have to provide the player for that?
So we have started with a pretty basic initial set of editing features. That's trimming, head and tails trimming, and adding music from our audio catalog in partnership with DistroKid. In the future, you can imagine some standard editing tools that maybe players have also come to expect, such as text overlays or text to voice. I think there's certain robotic voice overlays on videos that we may all are familiar with.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for your question. All right, we got another one.
Hello, I was wondering with the join community pop-up, if we'll get an API where we can actually see if the player joined the community.
Yeah, that's the intent. So you're saying that when the player's in your experience, they're going to be able to actually have a pop-up that join, and then on your side, on the developer side, you want to be able to see that they actually join?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's the whole point, like where we're going to actually make that happen, where when the player joins, they automatically are like a member of the community, and then you should be able to know about that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
I know it's a long time coming.
Hello. So for one of our games, we have a lot of high action combat with planes and different vehicles where the player's camera is locked. And I noticed in a lot of the moments presentations, the player was like clicking to record and stop. So I was just wondering if there's support to have that be like a hotkey to start and stop recording or upload a moment.
Yes, there will be some hotkey binds. So on Windows, you can actually hit F12 to do a capture. Some of these actually don't pass through the metadata, so they're more difficult to actually re-upload in the moments context. For keybinds on the moments experience, we'd love to actually chat with you more about this. In the past, we've actually introduced shortcuts for screenshot captures, but the community actually told us that this often conflicted with a lot of the short key cuts for interactions in game. So we're still trying to figure out a best solution for that, but we'd love to chat afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Anything? Ooh, we got another one.
Hello. For the moments, you did showcase starting and stopping the recordings, but would there be a possibility to have it always recording and then just go back and collect 30 seconds of what happened instead of having to start and stop it?
Yeah, 30 seconds is quite short, and we believe that's a good enough start to encapsulate a really high entertainment dense moment, but we do want to expand that. Always on is quite challenging for a number of reasons. It's extremely intensive on the processing side. And there are some technological things that we're exploring in the long run to enable more of a look back capture, because I think the use case, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you're imagining is that often the thing that is really interesting happens before you can actually predict it's about to happen, both as the player and the developer. And so if you can create a way to have a look back buffer, that would capture some of those, right? So that's something that we're very aware of. It's not available today, but it's something that we're exploring different paths.
Okay, and also, how long can the recording be? Because, like you can start it and you can stop it on your own, but, as soon as you join a place, you can just start and just have it keep going. So, like, how much does the system keep of the recording, if you understand what I'm asking?
For the capture service, it only captures it up to 30 seconds. You can restart another one and continue doing that. But at the end of the day, if you're doing this from a developer-triggered capture perspective, you will have to prompt the user to actually save and be able to share those.
Right, okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, great questions.
Yeah, what metadata does actually come through is specific to like UGC outfits, stuff like that? Like, will you be able to just like see any outfit that was like shown in that moment?
Yeah, this is a great question. So the metadata, I won't go through all of them, but there's a certain set of metadata that gets captured and also stored as part of that asset. So the place ID of where this thing was captured, what are the actual users that are in the view, what are the avatar items that are on those players. And in the future, we actually see that there's a lot of value in allowing developers to pass through custom metadata. So for instance, there could be specific levels or challenges or instances and contexts within your game that right now we just don't have metadata for. But if a capture or if a moment can actually let the player jump into a specific part of your experience, we think that would make it even more magical.
Cool. And what's up with like licensed, like third-party IP music? Like, is that going to be censored? Like, you know, there's always issues. Like, I've worked on a lot of concerts in the past.
Yeah.
It's always an issue. Those guys hate their music, like being in places they can't predict. You know?
Yeah, we have a great relationship with a lot of the license holders for various different types of assets on Roblox. And I think audio tracks is something that we're continuing conversations with a lot of the common rights holders for. If a piece of content has audio on it that is not allowed to be played, we don't have the rights to do that, the developer doesn't have the rights to do that, or the player doesn't have the rights to do that, we do have some services running in the background to detect and identify those, and those will be muted.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we might have time for just your 2 questions, but let's go for it. I think.
Cool. Yeah, hi. On Moments, I noticed that obviously it's great for game discoverability and you can join the game immediately, but there's also seemed to be a profile for the creator that you can follow. So I guess curious how you're thinking about those profiles and the influence that that might exert as people kind of like follow those people more, like other platforms similar to this. And then how does the Moments algorithm decide what to show if somebody's just like passively browsing, and what kind of like, you know, levers, how should we be thinking about that? And then I guess like a quite adjacent question, like what is the overlap between Moments and community? Like do you see communities having a tab where basically that particular moments from that game start showing up so that people can start building more influence, or, you know, things like that?
Yeah. I'll try to decouple the 5 questions. The first one is, what about the people who are actually posting moments? Right now, you already noticed the posters handle and their user icon is already on there. And for now, that is not really an actionable piece of metadata. In the future, we could explore having more deeper integrations with the existing paradigms of how people can already follow each other on Roblox. For now, though, the primary objective is, again, really to help people capture and share awesome moments to inspire discovery and engagement with games. So that's why there's a very primary join experience as the call to action. Mm-hmm. And there isn't so much of a deeper social graph following, view all of a person's content, that type of thing yet. But, you know, never say never. We can always explore that in the future. In terms of the algorithm, okay, let's see. This is a loaded one. So this is why we're actually giving you the recommendations API, right? Because we have a few certain set of features that we would be optimizing for, and a certain few objective functions that we think would make sense. That doesn't always make sense for your experiences. That's why we would give creators the ability to actually change and customize some of those weightings. So I'll give you a concrete example. Maybe you have a challenge of the week type of thing in terms of your content corner inside of your experience. And you want to weight extremely heavily for content that is uploaded by users with that specific tag or that specific part of your experience, right? From the generic recommendations API perspective, we wouldn't know that and we wouldn't be able to support that, but you should be able to customize that. And I'll save the fun question about the communities overlap for Kathy, but I can chime in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think, so Moments just launched, but we already are in talks, me and Derek are already in talks about how we can actually just get the Moments experience and integrate it into like, even just like forums, right? Now that we are working on the forum API, so bug reports or just like being able to take that content and really post it in your community and really showcase that. Those are all things that, you know, we definitely want to make communities all like very lively like that. So it's definitely been in discussion.
Totally. And just to maybe add on a little bit, the way that we would view Moments is that this is encapsulated awesome gameplay moments and interactions that should be shared in all different kind of contexts where it makes sense, right? So posting to Moments, for instance, would be like a big public, I want to show this to the world, and getting some bragging rights and brownie points. But we also see that there's a lot of content that is more sensible to share in small groups where there's high context. And we believe that communities is actually one of those examples. Yeah.
Don't leave party chat out of that.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah, party chat too.
Okay. Thank you so much.
For one more question.
Well, we might not have time for one. So here's what, can we, this is what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna be standing outside, so you can actually have one-on-one time with us, and we're happy to answer your question. That's okay. Okay, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
That was our time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.